Guys, so welcome to Cloud Learning channel. Hope everybody is doing good. Okay, so till now if you haven't subscribed this channel, please feel free to subscribe this channel. If you want to learn AWS, there are a lot of AWS good videos are there, and there is a playlist covered in Hindi and English channel as well for AWS videos where you can learn it sequentially. Okay, so that is good option, good place to learn AWS. Okay, now for DevOps, this is the this is class third, I can say, right? Last two videos was there published, and if you haven't watched the last videos, feel free to watch the videos, and we can learn DevOps from scratch. Okay, now just one thing, like these videos usually used to be a longer, so you need to just spend approximately good 30 minutes time maybe to learn it better. I recommend that to just go through with the agenda, like I'm just covering what is the agenda for today. Okay, and try to understand, listen first, and then on the second time you can do the practice as well, or you can do parallelly as you are able to, as you are comfortable. Okay, now we understood in previous classes what is DevOps, what softwares are used, what is the requirement, right? And one basic requirement is that we need a Linux machine. Okay, so let's start. I will not waste your time, but yeah, I'm Prashant, having good IT experience of approximately 14 years, uh, and have good understanding of the things, how it works in IT, how it was earlier, and now how it is in cloud now, what is the transition. So you can expect some good understanding. Okay, now you can understand something good, but yes, now we will talk about cloud perspective, and DevOps is a hot topics from last many years, and definitely it is going to be for many more coming years. So this is class third, and today agenda is how to create a Windows machine and how to create a Linux machine, how to connect them. Okay, so this is the perspective what we are covering. We will also discuss like what are the common databases ports, right? We will also discuss about how to connect those Windows and Linux machine, right? This is the primary objective of this class. Okay, so if you are new to AWS, just or new to DevOps, just watch this video and you will learn how you can create a Windows and Linux machine. Okay, now the first thing is you need to create a AWS account, right? So if you haven't created AWS account yet, you can go to this website aws.amazon.com, and you can just follow the steps by signing the account. Okay, it would require a one credit card. You can click on create an AWS account. It will give you 1 year free trial account, which is very good, sufficient, right? Because in Google you will find for 3 months, in Azure 1 month. So AWS is a good obvious choice to go for cloud option. Okay, now once you log in into this, you will find one login screen, right? Kind of home page. Okay, and it is something like how I can say, okay, yeah, this is kind of the home page you will find login. Okay, now for instance, understand you don't need to be very expert of that, but you just need to understand few basic things which you can learn from here. So go to your nearest region, whatever the nearest region on your AWS console. Okay, so suppose it is Asia Pacific Mumbai for me, but it could be anything else for you as well. Okay, so just choose the nearest region, because this region will have the data center where your machine will get set up. Okay, now when we are talking about server, it could be a virtual machine, it could be a EC2 instance, it is the same thing. Okay, somebody will call virtual machine, somebody will call EC2 instance in AWS. Okay, so like this it is. So we'll cover first our agenda, how to create Windows machine. Okay, so for Windows machine, default login name is administrator. Okay, administrator. And for Linux machine, it is Amazon Linux machine is there, Red Hat is there, SUSE is also there, and default username is EC2-user. Okay, for Ubuntu it is Ubuntu. So whenever you connect to machine, if you are connecting to Red Hat, Amazon Linux, SUSE, which is popular, you need to give username as EC2 user. For Ubuntu machine, you need to give it username as Ubuntu, and for Windows, you need to give as administrator. Okay. To connect the server, you need to connect. For Linux machine, it is 22 port. Okay, 22 port. For Windows, it will be this, and then 80 port is for HTTP request and 443 for HTTPS request. Okay, to connect, you need SSH and RDP port. Okay, now I'm going to show how to create a Windows machine. Okay, so you go EC2 service first, click on first EC2. Okay, here you need to go to instances. Okay, here you need to click on launch instance, Windows DevOps machine. Just give the name, right? Windows, so you need to choose the flavor like OS image. So I choose Windows. In Windows you can choose any machine. 22 2019. Okay, 2019 is quite popular, so we'll go for 29. It is available under free tier, so it would be available for 1 year. Okay, so you will get this one. Okay, instance type. So for free tier you get T2.micro, which will have 1 CPU and 1 GB RAM. Just understand, if you need higher configuration like more than 1 CPU and more than 1 GB RAM, you need to pay for it. Okay, so you can choose the options, but you have to pay for this. Suppose you go for T2 large, so you will get 2 CPU 8 GB, but you have to pay for it. Okay, and the charges would be, it is mentioned there, see, 0.1272 USD per hour. Okay, so you need to understand, like, you will pay for this, so like $5 you are, oh, sorry, $1 you are paying for 5 hours for SUSE Linux, this kind of machine, right? Here you are getting around 8 hours in $1. Okay, so 40 rupees, whatever the cost of 80-90 rupees cost of $1. Okay, so we are going for T2.micro just to ensure that we don't need to pay anything. You need to create a key pair. Okay, so first time you need to create a key pair. Okay, so you can give the key pair here. It is like a security key. Okay, so just follow the step and you will be able to create a machine. Windows key. Okay, RSA PAM key, create key pair. Good. You can download it somewhere, right, at secure place. So say I go for G cloud learning. Okay, I put it cloud learning DevOps. Okay, and I put the key, save the key. Okay, good. You can download it, it got saved. Now network settings, so you can go for by default, you don't need to go into complicacy. By default it will create one, it will AWS used to provide one network actually, so we can use, right? And see, one network is there, you can create your own network, but that is altogether a different topic. But you can choose your own network as well, but as of now we say that we create one VPC, and in this there you is availability zone, so AP South 1 AI choose. Okay, I give assign address, public IP address I choose assign. Okay, I need to create a security group. Okay, so I say Windows security group, because by default everything is blocked, so you need to create a security group which will allow you to connect your server, right? So by default RDP even not allowed, so you need to allow that one. So what you need to do, RDP 3389 port from anywhere. Okay, you can set your my IP, your particular this laptop IP, or you can give your custom range, but for now we are doing anywhere because this is under a testing machine. Okay, 30 GB is the by default storage which will get under free tier. If you use more than 30 GB, then you have to pay for it. Okay, then advanced details, all is good. You don't need to focus on this much. You can just go ahead and launch your instance. Hope we are good. Just to, because it will take 5 minutes approximately time to connect the Windows machine. Okay, so meanwhile we can create a Linux instance as well, just in effort to save the time. Okay, so I go to instance again and go to launch instance again. Okay, I say Linux DevOps machine. Okay, now just understand one more thing, that it is good. Okay, so I'll choose Amazon Linux for now. Okay, for this, and Amazon Linux is good. It is beneficial because it will come with some default software installed. I go again for t2.micro, then again I choose here, I create a new key pair, and this time I will say Linux key. Okay, so I am just keeping it separate because it is Windows and Linux, but you can use a single key as well. Okay, suppose I created a common name DevOps, then I can use that one as well. So it was my fault, I can say. I should keep it on DevOps as well, so that is also good, but Linux key is also good. Okay, I create the key pair and I save it. Okay, auto sign is network is again same there. Okay, now allow SSH traffic from anywhere. Okay, this is what I need, but I can create my own security group, not a issue. Okay, create, and I can go to edit. Okay, this also I put it on AP South 1A just to be specific, and I give Linux security group. So you will find same option, right? You just need to follow. If you are watching it free once first time, right? So you don't need to worry much. Just follow these steps. If you stuck somewhere, just let me know. Maybe I can guide there. Okay. Then you will get by default 8 GB. So I go for say 20 GB initially, right? And all good. Okay, I can launch instance. So one of Windows machine and one of Linux machine both got launched. Okay, so come to our notes. Let's see how we come till this point. Okay, now just understand that there would be few databases also which you can install on any machine, right? And those database also uses some ports, right? So Oracle port is 1521, MySQL is 3306, SQL Server is 1433. Okay, and Postgres is running on 5432. MongoDB used to use this 27017 port. Elasticsearch is using 9200. Kibana 5601. Jenkins is a tool for creating pipelines. Okay, so in DevOps, pipeline is the second next step always, where you can configure the next steps. What one pipeline can do. So you can do that, and it is running on 8080 port. SonarQube used to run on 9000 port. Nexus or JFrog used to run on 8081 port. These are by default ports. Okay. Everybody usually prefers Linux machines over Windows machine. Why? Because Linux is a multi-users OS. It is much more flexible, right? You can log in with multiple users at the same time, right? And you can do the things. Much more secure, much faster than Windows, right? So like Windows used to run lot of services in background, but Linux is quite, I can say, much better or more efficient. Okay, take less storage. Like you can see that Windows at least need 30 GB. Linux by default need less than 8 GB is sufficient for that, right? And again, license cost is also much cheaper than Windows. So these are few reasons why everybody used to prefer Linux. Okay, and this also Red Hat is now taking license cost. CentOS, Ubuntu, SUSE, these are available easily. Okay, and at very low price. So this is something good. Amazon provides by default below Linux flavors. Amazon Linux, which is come with pre-built few softwares installed on Linux machine, RHEL 8, Ubuntu, and SUSE. Okay. Now to connect the Linux machine, you need a Linux or some client, SSH client. Okay. And for Windows machine, you need a MSTSC. Okay. Remote desktop client. So which is come in Windows machine by default. Or for Linux, you just need to download an SSH client. Mobaxterm is a good one. You can use also Putty. You can use Git Bash as well. Okay. So we are good. Hopefully our machines are also ready. Let's see how it is going on. Okay, so two machines are ready. 2 by 2 checks has passed. So we are good, right? Both machines are ready. Now you can see that on here it is giving me public IP addresses as well. Okay, so this is there. So you can see the IP address is there, right? And we will see now how to connect that machine. Okay, so this is very important steps every time you have to do, like every time you have to launch a machine. These steps which I shared, it is good to follow. Okay, you can start, stop, and do all those things here. First, let's see how to connect Windows machine. Okay, so if you go here, Windows machine, go to start. If you are using a Windows machine, right, type here remote desktop connection, it will come. Okay, you can use this one. A tip, a small tip, you can do right click, start, run, and you can type mstsc as well. Same thing will come. Okay, so this is the shortcut, mstsc. Okay, go there, go to Windows Server IP address. So if you see, there is public IP address because you are connecting from internet, so you need to use public IP address. This is internal server IP address. So I go there, I click on connect. So it will ask username. Okay, so what you need to give, what is the by default username? Put it into comment, administrator. Okay, are you finding this video useful? If you are still here, please hit write in comment section that you got understood, you like this video, right? This motivates me a lot. Okay, so if you can do that, that would be very helpful for me. So now you need the password. Okay, so how to get a password? Select machine, go to connect, RDP client, username administrator, click on get password, upload private key, and here you need to put the Windows spam file. Okay, so I do there and I say decrypt password. Now I will got my password, I copy it and I'll put it into. Okay, so if you see, my password is put in there. I say remember. Okay, you can see my connection is ready. I'm able to log in. I should be able to log in now, right? So if you are getting this, you will be able to log in the machine. I put lot of effort, guys. Hope you are liking this video, right? And this video you are finding useful. If you watch first time, that is really uh, I appreciate that you are watching this till this time, and definitely I am just trying to add some value for you guys. So you can see our Windows machine is got logged. You will got the full admin access because you are administrators. Now you can do whatever the things you want to do, like you need to create a local users, you can do that, right? Whatever the task you want to do, you can just go to server manager and you can complete those tasks. Okay, if you find this good. Okay, okay, so this is how we connect Linux machine. If we need to disconnect, just go start, power and disconnect. Okay, same way you can do there as well. Now if you have to stop, you can stop here. You want to terminate, you can terminate. So I am just terminating it just to ensure that I don't get charged, unnecessary charges, right? So this way I am just disconnecting it or shutting down. So every time you come, you can create a new machine and you can do the things, right? That would be good for initially, like if you do, that would be good for doing the practice for DevOps things. Okay. Now Linux machines. As I said that most of the times you will use Linux machine because it is cheap and it is much more efficient than Windows, and most of the things in production as well, you or in the companies you will find that they are using Linux machines, so we will prefer Linux most of the times here. Now if you want to connect Linux machine, there are few ways. You can select machine, click on connect. There is easy to instance connect option available. Okay, you can go and you can directly connect machine. It will connect it over browser. Okay, so if it supports, it will get set up the connection. If they okay, it is supported, right? And you can see that you are able to connect the machine. You can go for cd slash and then you can see in root directory, you can see that server is there, right? Files are there and you can see all the details, right? So this is good way to log in, okay, and utilize this. So this is one way to connect your Linux machine. But if you don't want like every time you go there and you connect, right, one more option is there. It is PowerShell. Okay, sorry, Cloud Shell. So Cloud Shell is also there, which is kind of uh, uh, environment will be created by your AWS, and here you can run CLI commands for AWS. Okay, so here you can in Cloud Shell you can run the command, but this is not for connecting the server, right? So I'll skip this. So for this, EC2 connect is the first option, right? Second way is you can click on connect and go to session manager. Session manager, you need to install one agent on Linux machine and then you can control it via session manager. Okay, so that is altogether different thing. SSH client, okay, you can use SSH client. So as I said that you can use MOBA XTERM. MOBA XTERM is easily available over internet. So if you are using Windows, you can use this one, MOBA XTERM, and you can download the free version. Okay, click on get. You can download the free version. It is more than enough because it can maintain 12 sessions. This is more than enough, right? 2 tunnels you can create, so this is good. Okay, or you can use putty. Okay, so you can go directly into internet and you can say putty download, and you can go putty download here. Okay, and you can click on download putty and you can download putty file there, putty.exe, and you can download it. Okay, this is another option. I have downloaded both, right? MOBA XTERM is just simply you download and click next, 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 it got installed. So you will find kind of this option, right? MOBA XTERM is like this, MOBA XTERM. Okay, when you will open this one, you can go there. Okay, uh, okay, now you can create a new session. Suppose I go for SSH. Okay, then what is the remote host? For remote host, you can go to EC2 instance. a Linux instance, go to summary, copy the IP address, public IP, specify username, it is ec2-user. I believe you use Amazon Linux, right? So then you need to use this. Then go to advanced settings. Somewhere it was advanced settings, and then you need to specify the key file path there. Use private key. Okay, here you need to use the private key. So I go there and I choose private key. So this is recent item. Let's have a look here. Okay, yeah, here it is. uh, okay, let me just quickly check what I can do. Quick access, right? There I should be able to find it. Windows and Linux. Okay, so Linux spam key I can use. Okay, should be able to connect. No supported authentication methods. Okay, so no issue. What we will do, we can use putty as well. Okay, there is nothing much changed, but actually we need to create a ppk file. So I need to download one tool, puttygen. Okay, same way like you can go puttygen download. Better way, download putty. Okay, on putty website itself, if you click on download putty, you can find this tool puttygen. Okay, so puttygen is a bit there. See, there it is, right? So you download puttygen at any place, and then what you need to do, you just open this. Why we need puttygen? Okay, because putty didn't understand PAM file. Okay, you remember we used to use PAM file for connecting the servers, so that will not understand by putty or MobaXterm in this case as well. Okay, so we need to go to load. Once you open puttygen, okay, so you need to click on load. Then you need to open, give your file. Okay, uh, it was into, sorry for taking your time, but it was into G drive, cloud learning, DevOps scripts I believe, and then click on all files, and here you can go for Linux PAM files. Select this, click on save private key, click on yes, and at the same place you say Linux key. Okay, just save it with this name, it will get generated into ppk format. Now if I connect this server via using putty, if you use putty now, and if you give the server IP address, so hopefully it should be okay now, but it might not work. I remember that there is some issues there. So I go there. Okay, this IP address server. Okay, SSH authentication, click on browse, choose again Linux ppk, click on open, and here I hope it should work now. ec2-user, and see, you are good, you are able to log in, right? Now you can change the settings and you can make the character a bit bigger for easy convenience. Okay, now if you see, you can run your command cd space slash root directory ls, and we are in Windows Linux server now. Okay, so hope this is good, you find it useful, right? I'm still watching my agenda. So yes, we are there. Why do we need tags? Tags is required so that we can understand the things clearly in AWS, right? So if you go to AWS now and suppose you want to see, like, go to tags, now you know this is a Linux DevOps machine, right? And you can add more tags here, like who is administrator and anything, right? Environment, so many things are there, right? Environment, development, kind of this. Now people know, like, okay, this is development server, so this is not that much critical, right? So this way we can understand this, right? So this is good, right? um, okay, so now AWS, okay, you can apply policies as well, like for dev machine, suppose you want to take backup, you can create a tag backup and you can put it value yes. If you don't need backup for this, you can say backup no, and on backup based you can run the backup policies, right? And you can run the backup accordingly that. So this is also good. One advantage of tags, AWS has restricted password login by default. Okay, so if you go to Linux machine and if you create a user and then password, it is not allowed. By default you need to connect it by providing a SSH key, right? A key pair. Once you connect the key pair, then you can enable password based authentication if you want. Okay, so this you can do, but first time by default AWS has restrict the password authentication. Okay, okay. So first time you need to log in by using SSH key only, which we created, right? The PAM file which we are talking, and PAM file we converted into PPK so that Putty can understand, and once you log in there, then you can do that, right? So next step could be sudo space -i to log in with sudo. Okay, so we logged in with sudo now, and then you can run this command if you want to see is password authentication is enabled or not. See, permit root login, prohibit password is prohibited. Okay, and okay, so password, if you go to this file now, ssd config, then you will see that there is a option of password login not allowed. Okay, that's why you need to you need to allow the password authentication, then it will work. Okay, so this is the file and you can see all the details. Okay, so point is password authentication by default not allowed, and you need to change it. See, permit user environment. Okay, you can find, like, by using grab permission empty password no, password authentication no, right? You need to change this option to yes, and then it will work. Okay, this way it can work. So this is what, then to connect from our Git or Linux machine as well. On Linux machine you need to run this command ssh username is ec2-user @ server IP address, the public IP address. Then you can -i, and -i would be your key pair location. Okay, so suppose for me it was in DevOps script folder, so I need to provide the complete path of key pair file. Okay, example ssh-i test.pam and ubuntu adds server IP, because it is for Ubuntu, right? For me it was Amazon Linux, so I use ec2-user. we need to know. Okay, I will take not more than 5 minutes then after this, right? We now successfully seen that how to create a Windows and Linux machine. Just do that. If you face any issue, feel free to let me know. I will try to what the best help I can do. Okay, but if you follow this, definitely you will be able to achieve that, because if I can achieve, definitely you can achieve that as well. I covered all the things which is required. We need to know how to install all DevOps tools on Linux machine. Okay, so you need to install Linux, softwares on machine to make it work as a DevOps tool, right? So we will do that. For example, if we want to install RHEL software and we need Python to install, so we need to run one command and then Python can be installed. Okay. If Amazon Linux, it is most probably Python will be installed by default there, so don't need to worry. Okay. Now, what softwares you need to install on Linux machine or Red Hat machine? Git, Java 8, Maven, Gradle, SonarQube, Nexus, Jenkins, ELK, Grafana, Prometheus, Python, okay, and Node.js. So we'll cover all these things step by step. Don't worry. Okay, this is class number third. In next frequent classes, coming classes, we'll see. We also understand that the Linux concept, because that is very useful. Okay, that is very useful. You need to understand the basic Linux command, and definitely we'll cover for that, and we'll see that as well. Okay, so there would be approximately good number of classes, and if you follow this one, definitely you will. It would be very helpful for you guys to learn DevOps from scratch. You can learn it with me. Okay, we need to understand folder structure in Linux, user and group administrators, files, ownership and permissions, create files and directories. Uh, Package management, how to install a package of software in Linux machine. Process management, how to start and stop or kill a service. Okay. SSH, how to copy files from one machine to another machine. Okay. So these are the few things definitely would we are looking in coming classes. For this classes, as we covered our agenda, I think it is helpful for you. If you find it useful, feel free to hit a like button, right? Subscribe the channel, share the video with someone else who you think it would be helpful, right? Or if you want to make any donation, you can go to description and you can donate me. Okay, that would be helpful. Uh, so that's all from me. If you do some donation, just please message me. Okay. Uh, my Paytm number is 8287546108. If you Paytm there, just feel free to let me know so that I can understand. Okay, you done the contribution, and I will bring it up in the coming classes. Once again, guys, thanks a lot for watching this video. Please subscribe the channel so that it can motivate me, and I will keep creating some useful video for you. Thanks a lot, guys. Wish you a good day. Bye bye.